The average person is good at what they do. They just don't have a partnering skill.
I say you are extremely good at what you do, but no one knows what you do.
Yeah. If you focus on getting better, it's inevitable that you get bigger. It's impossible to hide greatness. It's impossible if you become very good at something that people will ignore it. So whatever you see in your mind, if you can produce it with your life, that's success.
It has to work or it has to work.
Welcome to another episode of Circle of Greatness. I'm your host, Nehemiah Davis, and today we got something super special. I'm bringing my brother on the platform for the first time on the new show, man. When I'm talking about father, I'm talking about husband, I'm talking about author, like 20 plus books. I'm talking about leader, I'm talking about pastor. None other than my guy, Marcus Y. Rosier. What's up, bro?
My man, 100 grand, MD.
Bro.
You know what's crazy? It doesn't feel like an interview because how far we go back, man.
I know, bro. It's crazy. And it's funny, we met through George. George invited us both to come do a speaking engagement. It was a free engagement. And literally, I met like somebody who I've been rocking with you for, I don't know how many years now.
Since 2016.
2016. So that's 7 years.
Yes, like crazy. 7, 8 years, Jane.
Bro, that is wild. We've been to at least 10, 15 countries together.
Yeah.
We started some businesses together. We had some wild experiences, man.
We got PTSD about that pricing.
Oh my gosh. So funny story, y'all. When me and Marcus met, we met at an event. And you know, he's good at speaking. You know, he's good at speaking. I guess I was a marketer and somewhat of a speaker then. I wasn't great. I got to tell you the story. So I used to get booked for speaking engagements. And I tell people this, Marcus was like one of my first speaking coaches. So what I would do, guys, is I will go to this particular, whatever engagement I get, I'll hit him up like, bro, I got a speaking engagement. Let's split the money. I go first, you go last. Because I was so horrible at speaking, in my opinion, that I knew he would come up and he would clean up whatever I messed up. So I say all that to say that, man, you gotta start somewhere, because a lot of people look at me now like, oh, you got it going on. No, but I was in my opinion.
You wasn't bad. You wasn't bad, bro.
I was bad.
You wasn't bad. I think confidence creates clarity, right? So I think you wasn't confident yet because like that's not a muscle you use.
Yeah.
Marketing is a blink reaction for you. Hustle is a blink reaction, right? So I think it was just getting comfortable.
Yeah.
I always tell people when somebody plays basketball or football, only thing that happens the more you play it, the game slows down.
Yeah.
First time playing, everything's fast, you frantic, so you can't see holes. Now I'm sure you speaking and you can wing it, and you can feel the energy of the audience and be able to pivot.
Yeah.
Everything is slower in your head. You can organize on the fly. Yeah. I remember Little Stevie, the ABCs of greatness.
Oh, yeah, Little Stevie. I forgot about Little Stevie.
ABCs
of greatness. Wow.
The kids book.
Jones. I got to go pour them back out.
Yo.
That Little Steve was good too.
Oh my God, yeah.
I gotta remember the framework around, but I think I forgot the total story of Little Stevie, but it was Steve Harvey.
Yeah.
And it was basically about him. I forgot. I got to go pull it out, but it was.
Oh, I got you. You know, I got memory and shoot from when we went to Africa and you did the stuff with the kids and just, it's crazy the journey, man. Yeah. Bundled up in a room. Yeah. You know,
we used to do 3-4 people to a room, man. People don't know, like it was whatever it took, man.
Listen.
Yeah, bro. It was, man, we had some experiences, man. And one of our the last ones I remember was we was publishing people books, bro, for like $1,500.
Oh no! Worse than them publishing. We would do the book cover.
Yeah.
We would do the formatting for the book, binding. We would print the book, give them 50 copies,
edit
the book. Yeah. We would do everything from editing, formatting. You would do social media, and we would get them 50 books for $1,500.
And give them a venue for a book launch.
Right, for $1,500. Uploaded everything. I'm like, bro, what was we thinking?
I don't know, bro.
You remember Boardroom Bosses?
Yes, I remember Boardroom Bosses, bro.
$100.
$100, bro. That's where I met Sonia. I met Boone. We had several authors go through Boardroom Bosses. We had the authors edition.
Yeah,
it was crazy.
8-hour day, 100, and in there, but. That's why I always say, man, money's a moving finish line. And what ends up happening is mentally, your whole lot of money number change. Yeah. Right. So whatever we think 5 figures was a whole lot of money. Yeah. When your whole lot of money number change, your work ethic, your strategy changes. Yeah. Right. That's all that happens is that in our head, we no longer believe that was a lot of money.
Yeah. That's good. And it's just, man, we came a long way, bro.
I'm proud of you, bro. We're sitting in one of the cribs.
Oh man,
one of the cribs.
You know, figure it out. You know, keeping it moving forward, man.
Yeah.
What and we talk about it, man. What I guess keeps you elevating? I think that's important for somebody here who's going through it. I think you got to keep going. Like I think people don't commit enough to just keep going. I was listening to a episode of like Hormozy, and I'm talking about this month I've been getting punched in my face with a lot of different stuff, like a lot. And I'm like, dang, I was like, geez, I'm getting beat up right now with some stuff right now. And he said, man, things are going to be harder. Sometimes you gotta go through it, but sometimes when things get hard, people quit.
Yeah.
What's your message to those who are, some people are on the brink of greatness, but they quit too soon? Like so many people, they give in.
Yeah. Two things I would say. Number one, long before you start getting beat up, you got to create an internal scoreboard, not an external one, right? So someone will look at you and they will give themselves an excuse because they believe that hitting 7 figures, that's an external scoreboard. Hey, look at Neo. He's got a brand. He's got all these followers. That's an external scoreboard. But what if that ain't how you gauge success, right? Success ultimately is taking the picture you have behind your eyes and producing it in front of your eyes, right? So whatever you see in your mind, if you can produce it with your life, that's success. That doesn't have to be money. It doesn't have to be like if you saw yourself raising a family, that's success. That's an inner scoreboard. Nobody else can see it. Nobody can track score but you, right? So I think the way that you, long before you pursue anything, it's create that. Second thing that I would say outside of creating an internal scoreboard is whenever somebody's getting to a place that they're thinking about quitting, I think it's important to revisit. Like what I always say is I got to word it this way. You live in your mind, you experience it with your body.
Yeah.
So you got to revisit like what you saw in your mind. Yeah. I always saw myself impacting people. I didn't see money. Money was a
byproduct.
Yeah, it's a reaction to impact, right? It's impossible to be great at anything. Be great at cooking food, and it's inevitable that people will talk about it. Kathy Truitt says it, better before bigger. If we focus on being better, the people will make us bigger. That's what he did with Chick-fil-A, right? So
better before bigger.
It's that. If you focus on getting better, it's inevitable that you get bigger. It's impossible to hide greatness. It's impossible if you become very good at something that people will ignore it. Will it take time? Yeah, because I think the strategy and the missing link for almost everybody right now is marketing. The average person is good at what they do. They just don't have a partnering skill. So you got people that are great speakers but don't know how to market themselves so they don't get the opportunity. You got videographers that might be learning new editing techniques. Well, how are you going to sell it if you don't know how to market it? Right? So it's that. It's figuring out what do I need for this season of my life. That keeps you from quitting.
Yeah. And it's good you say it's I tell people all the time when it comes to marketing, I say you are extremely good at what you do, but no one knows what you do. So many people are the best kept secret.
Yeah.
And I know you just got to really put yourself out here right now. And just right now, I feel like times have shifted from a year ago or 2 years ago when the pandemic came, where you actually got to be good for people to want what you offer now.
Yeah.
I feel like you can't just wing it anymore.
Yeah. 100%, bro. One of the things I would say, somebody asked me, what do I think AI is going to do for the online, the coaching space? I said, it won't disrupt it like we think, right? AI is an information transfer. Like the ability to get information and disseminate it. People who are really good at aren't transferring information, they're transferring skill and belief. So those who say, well, I don't need nobody because I got AI, bro, you hearing the information is not the same as you acquiring a skill to be able to produce it. And what do you do when it doesn't work?
Yeah.
Right? That's a skill. That's a belief. So to your point, when we say things are harder, we got to learn to read the numbers better. What we really should be thinking about is it's an attention conversion. The largest commodity is not money right now, it's attention. Fact. Because it's so many podcasts, it's so much data, it's so much content, it's so many things we can go, so many rooms we can get into. If you can learn to hold people's attention and convert that attention, that tells you if you got a profitable product.
Hey, you're looking at this and you're probably enjoying this episode and the strategies and the gems that I give you. This is just a fraction what you learn in my mastermind, right? I would love for you to be able to learn more information on how he's able to help Carter Cofield make $1 million in one single day, how he's able to help Rochelle Parks make over $500,000 in a day, learn how he's able to help Tevin grow his Instagram following from 70,000 followers to upwards to 200,000 followers within 2 months. And again, those results are not typical, let me be very clear, but they are possible for those who are willing to put work in, energy, and effort. If you're looking at this video right now, I want you to go to the website mastermindwithneo, NEO.com, so you can apply to see if you're a good fit for our mastermind. This is specifically for someone looking to grow their digital business, right? Even though y'all probably even know David Shan, Sleepers for Suckers, he's inside of my mastermind. You probably know Sonya, the student loan doctor, he's inside of my mastermind. You probably know Darius Daniels, he's inside of my mastermind. Those are just a few more people who are absolutely crushing it as a result of being inside of the community. So listen, if you're looking at this, right, and you're probably looking at the episode like, man, you're dropping so much gems, but can you imagine how many gems you'll get when you're actually inside of the environment, when you're tapped into the community? What I want you guys to go to right now is mastermindwithneo.com, so you do not miss out on your opportunity to get tapped in. You will have to apply, you will have to get on the call, and hopefully you make the cut to be a part of what we got going on. I'll see you on the inside. Let's get back to the episode.
So if you know that you can't hold people's attention beyond 5 minutes, you definitely shouldn't be thinking about selling high ticket.
Right.
You master holding attention, convert that attention, then you master selling.
Yeah, let me talk about that. Before you even could get that far, I feel like you got to master messaging.
Yeah.
I mean, you're extremely good at mastering messaging, understanding how to say something in a way to get someone to either buy or to at least be interested. How do you come up? What is your framework? And I know you broke it down. Remember, we were at Mexico at the mastermind, and you was talking about get off next exit or something. Like you're able to pinpoint a specific way to talk to the ideal client.
Yeah.
How do you do that?
Oh man, so we in the good stuff. There's a few different ways, and I can give some frameworks that people can use. But one, and this is not generic, you actually got to have deep empathy and care.
Yeah.
You got to take ownership for a problem that's not your own. You got to work for free for your clients, master it, learn it, and be able to solve that problem. So what I teach as it relates to messaging, if you think about the internet is filled with, I see it like an interstate, right? It's all these cars, all this traffic. You got people looking at their favorite celebrity. They looking at comments on down the line. How do you get somebody to get off what I call the interstate of social media and get off on your exit? The link in your bio, comment the word blank, DM the word this.
Yeah.
That's where you've got to say something that connects to what a person is interested in. So the way that I'll explain it is simply this. You ever watch somebody start a video and say, people ask me all the time? Mm-hmm. That's no way to drive traffic. Here's why. A better way to do that is to say, here's the top question entrepreneurs are asking.
Now you're talking to entrepreneurs specifically.
When you say people keep asking me, we don't know them people, so it doesn't validate what you're about to say in the content. Yeah. It's better to say, here's the top 2 questions that podcasters are asking to get more views. Here's the top question entrepreneurs are asking to close more sales. Don't say people are asking. See that messaging pivot. Yeah. You've got to choose too. Here's the better way to do it. Where am I picking you up from and where am I dropping you off at? Right? So am I picking Neo up from Neo when he's trying to figure out how to make 6 figures a month? Am I picking Neo up from 8-figure earner who's not trying to master money, but trying to master leadership, right? So am I talking to the Neo who's in success? That messaging is going to be different because I'm picking you up from success, and what I'm ultimately doing is moving you along. So anytime you're doing messaging, just think about, I'll simplify this. Think about it like a GPS. Where do I want to pick this group of people up from in terms of information? Where do I want to drop them off and what do I promise? The way in which we do that, very simple framework, very, very, very simple framework. In the first few seconds, you should be saying something that directly promises them something. Yeah. So make a promise and walk them through the process. It'll sound something like this. Here's the top thing you should stop doing if you want to start doing this. Just fill in the blanks. Yeah. 2 things you could do right now if you want to double your revenue without having to give up time with your kids and spend it in X, Y, and Z, right? So that's some of the framework, but I'll simplify it even more. What I teach my students is PAQS. The P is for introduce a problem, right? So every person at some level of their life have a problem. Yep. The A in that is introduce an ambiguous answer. Why? It's 30-second, 20-second content. You can't answer it all. And some people are so arrogant, they'll believe that they have all your information in 30 seconds. You do an ad in 60 seconds, do a workshop in 2 hours, and they will assume that I've got 10 years of your information just because you taught me a small window of it. So it has to be an ambiguous answer. The Q is introduce a question that overcomes an objection.
Yeah.
The question has to directly relate to an objection, and then the S is the system or the strategy you have to solve it, right? So if you can map that out, problem, ambiguous answer, question that overcomes an objection, and a strategy or system you have for it. So I'll do it in real time. Yeah. You don't need a lot of followers to make money online, but you do need this one thing. You need to create content that builds your brand, business, and bank account. You need an offer that people can use immediately and get immediate results. So the question is, what type of content should you create if you're trying to post content that attracts customers? That's the cue, right? You're seeing how the ambiguous answer, you see the questions. How often should you post? People keep saying that you need a funnel, but what type of funnel performs for your offer? So here's what I decided to do. I created, and we're in the S now. You see how the PAQS, it'll walk you through the whole thing. It's a simple format.
Bro, how you come up, like, bro, one thing I say, man, and one, you are pastors. I don't know how you, Darius, and them do this, but y'all come up with a sermon every week, but I've never saw somebody that comes up with a speech every time you speak. I'm talking about it's a new framework. It's a new, I'm still using some of your stuff from when we started that you forgot about that's in a shelf somewhere. Like, what is the format that you use to be able to keep creating new messages to be able to hit on whoever that audience that you're looking to serve? Whether you used to create messages for doctors, pharmacists, pastors, digital entrepreneurs, accountants, life coach. Like, how are you? Like me, I got about 2 to 3 messages. You got 2,300. Like, how is there a framework that you have created that people could follow to be able to develop more messages?
So I'll go to the first side of it, and then I'll give them a framework they can use. Every Thursday, which is today, is my think day. Right. So Monday is my coaching day. Tuesday is my content day. Wednesday is what I call like worship and wellness, where I'm really focused on how I'm feeling, what I'm thinking. Thursday is a think day. So the same way that you told me be here at a certain time, I make an appointment with thoughts. If you're digesting information, when do you organize that information? What is your management system for the thoughts you had? And when do you meet with them?
Like the CRM.
Yeah. So when do you meet with those thoughts? If Neil writes in his phone, ooh, that's good, that's a nugget. When do you sit and meet with those thoughts? If you're part of a program or you went to a mastermind, normally when I'm sitting at a mastermind, and even in yours, I jot down thoughts and I go ahead with the information and put it on the calendar. Meet with, challenge information. Right? So that lets me go deep with one subject, right? So that's a large part of my success has been, I'm very, 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 I respect thoughts. When you're intaking too much information, imagine coaching your students and telling them how to learn it and how to implement it, right? So normally whenever I teach a coaching session, I tell them, hey, right now with the information I just taught you, go ahead and put it on your calendar now. When are you gonna sit with this to go deeper with it?
Yeah, that's good.
Right? Hey, so here's—
You should have told me that a few years ago.
You know what I'm saying? So if you taught me challenge, hey, so here's what I want you to do. Go ahead and set it on your calendar now. At least block off an hour, and here are the 2 thoughts I want you to sit with, right? So I normally do that. I sit with thoughts every Thursday and kind of map out questions.
How long are you doing it for? Just an hour?
I try to block off a window. Normally it's like between 12 and 4, or 11, depending on the time, like your peak hours, 10 to 2. You got to figure out if you're a morning person, night person. So I like to start about 10.
Got it.
Like 10 to 2-ish. And in that, questions triggers your mind differently. So the way that I word it is, you don't want to make withdrawal statements. You want to make deposit questions. A withdrawal statement would be, if you were doing an event a week from now and you're like, man, I don't have time to do it because I only have 7 days. That's a withdrawal statement. You would need to say, what do I need to put in place since I only have 7 days? That's a deposit question, right? So if you can deposit a question, it creates creativity. So that's part of it. And the other thing is, bro, I'm obsessed with Tony Robbins, and when I read the Bible, or Jim Rohn and all these guys, what they really did, or Chapman, the 5 love languages. These concepts been around forever. They named them. right? So I learned that from the Bible with God, right? Adam didn't create the animals, he named them.
Wow.
He let the animals pass by. In my mind, what is that? That's a thought passing by. So can a thought pass by and you recognize it and name it? That's the way I think. So when thoughts pass by, I might think the same thing as somebody else. If you look outside of this road, bro, it don't matter if the road is there if nobody names it.
Yeah.
So I like to take thoughts, name them, and organize them in a sequence so somebody can digest it. And this is the last thing I'll say about it. The same way that the human body processes food, the human brain processes information. So you like steak. Well, you used to because you're vegan now. You like brownies, ice cream.
Everything.
Right? So you wouldn't want your vegetables, your lamb chops, and your ice cream at the same time. Although you like them, if I give them to you at the same time, to make you sick.
Yeah, facts.
So some of the times we are feeding someone the future picture of success and the immediate information at the same time. It doesn't process through their belief system. The same way that something has to process through a digestive system, information got to process through a belief system.
That's good.
So it's not that I don't want the information. It's not that I don't want to believe in myself. You think I want to pay somebody money and not take action on the information and get my money's worth? So we got to ask ourselves, what in the information is being blocked by their belief system that they can't digest 6 figures in a day? That just seems so far-fetched, so unrealistic. So we got to package things in a way that we feed them and pair new information with new beliefs. So when I package a framework, bro, I am not just thinking about what I want to say. I'm thinking about how I need to feed it to the person. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that's good. Bro, I don't know. Yo, walk me through your day. I know we traveled a lot. I used to watch you get up 6 a.m, pray. Like you still got a similar...
Heavy.
I know everybody I don't got a daily routine that I do other than wake up, I write a note to God, and then I kind of move on with my day. And I try to delegate like 50 tasks. Walk me through like I know you got Monday, all of these days are different, but I feel like the first part is the same.
Yeah, so 20-20-10-10 is how I do it. Now, of course, I got more things that go on in it, but my dedicated first hour. So it's like figuring out what do I need. If time is resource, right? So how much do I need to run the business of me? 20-20-10-10. The first 20 minutes is prayer. Get my phone. I set a 20-minute alarm. Very simple what I pray. I'm a framework guy, so like my mind would be all over the place, bro, if I don't organize my thoughts.
It's time blocking.
Yeah, so it's not just the 20 minutes. I got to assign a focus in the 20 because I might wake up tired. You know what I'm saying? So for me, I typically, first thing I do is say, good morning, Holy Spirit, or good morning, God. And I go straight from that into this statement I call heaven's best. I'm in the right place at the right time, doing the right thing, meeting the right people, saying the right words. What God thinks, I think. What God wants, I want. Heaven's best is released over my life. Right? That frames my head. Then I go into prayer. Couple questions, prayer of a family, that kind of piece. The next 20 is reading. Alarm go off, I start reading.
What you reading?
I typically read the Bible.
Got it. Okay.
Right? So I got a framework for that. I'm always Old Testament, New Testament, Psalms, Proverbs. Right? So you see, I don't have to think, because if I got to think early in the morning, it ain't gonna work for me. I'm just that type of person. So that's the first 20, the second 20. The next 10 is broken up into 5 and 5. First 5 minutes is creative visualization. Most powerful thing I've ever started doing. It's where you close your eyes and you create whatever scenario you want to see. Creative visualization, where you visualize, and I go, where I do it on my phone, day, week, month. That's, you know what I'm saying? Then I can go year. And I'll just write, I'll close my eyes for about 3-4 minutes. And the last few minutes, I just jot down what I want to see. Right? And I got a thing in my phone called daily notes, and it's labeled based on the date. So it'd be June 1st, day, month, week. That's the first 5, creative visualization. The second 5 is meditation, where I meditate on what I just visualized.
That's good.
You know what I'm saying?
That's good.
So that's 5 and 5. And then the last 10 is what I call the cleanup. Anything I didn't do in the first 20, the second 20, or the 10, I clean up in the last 10, and I'm ready to go.
Hey, listen, I had to stop the episode. Listen, really quick. This is the book responsible for making so many people grow their social media, right? Their income, their impact, and influence, leveraging social media. And you're probably looking at it like, yo, Neil, I don't feel like waiting for you to ship me this book, right, y'all? Go to My IG Cash Book right now, myigcashbook.com. Get a direct download to get this in your inbox so you can immediately start leveraging the strategies. This is over 86 pages. Every single chapter is going to give you a gem to grow your audience, to grow your impact, and to grow your influence, right? And I literally created it for you. This is the same thing that I literally watch people go crazy with. So go to myigcashbook.com, go ahead and claim your copy. It will be in your inbox. And when you do that, buy everything that it comes with. I got an IG course with it and a bunch of other things that I know is gonna truly help you go crazy. myigcashbook.com. Let's go.
That's basically an hour a day.
Yep, 2020, 10, 10.
Dang. And you don't miss them.
Nah.
What time you started?
It varies
Or
now.
depend on
it varies
with
now.
a kid too.
Yeah, it varies now. But I still make it happen. Like today, I meet on Thursdays with our ad and funnel team and my copywriters. So like that's more of my creative side. I already knew I had to meet with them at supposed to be 11. I was coming here at 11:30. I met with them at 10. So I was like, okay, I need to get started around 8:15. So it tells me
what you got to do based on the schedule. Yeah, bro. Just to see all the things you got going on, pastoring the church, working with all these successful clients. Like I don't know how you be getting it all done in such a methodical and just because my stuff be random. Like it's just like I get up like what I got to do today?
Yeah.
All right, bet let's run through it. But I see how the system can really assist you with just getting more done.
Yeah. Man, all of us are built different, and I'm weird because I'm an integrator. I'm a marketer. Like I'm a little bit of
you're a Swiss Army knife.
Yeah, I'm a little bit of this and that in terms of copywriter, copywriting, speaking, marketing, funnels. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't realize that until we were building like the education company.
Yeah.
And I realized every month my goal like 2 years ago was to fire myself every month.
Yeah.
And I realized it took 23 people to fire me.
Wow.
Right.
I was about to say, how are you training all these people for this?
Yeah. So the same way that you would create a course for yourself.
Yeah.
I mean, for your clients, you need to do that for your team.
Wow.
You know,
that's good.
And then
I didn't do that yet.
Yeah. So like,
that's good. That's a gem.
Man,
don't let that go over your head, please.
Now I got to give credit, man. A large part of what I'm learning about leadership, man, that Darius.
Oh yeah, Darius.
That Darius, he's special. He's special, man. He's been a blessing to me in that regard. Yeah. But I realized the power of it. So your job, my job, and it's not me telling you what to do, is to think it once, hand it to our team to manage and to multiply it.
Hand it to our team once and multiply.
Yeah. So it's like we're the most expensive person in our company.
Yeah.
So any task that we're continuing to do doesn't make sense. So our job is to think it once, right? I said it's the God model. God took one thought, diversified it over 7 days. Wow. Ain't no different between Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, other than the focus you give it.
Wow.
24 hours, day and night.
Yeah.
Right? But it's deciding what you create. However, the brilliance of our creator is he created a proprietary product, humanity. He created a world, which is a business, and he never has to touch it again. And everything is a seed to produce itself. That's what we should do. We should create the type of model that we think, hand it off to our people. We do a thing every Tuesday with our team we call Teach the Teacher. Meaning, I'll teach you a concept top of the month. By the time it comes to the end of the month, whatever I taught you how to do or delegated to you, you got to teach it to me, because one of the things we're going towards this year is selling our business to people who don't have the thought process, the work ethic to build it. So now my team.
Wait, selling our business. Say that one more time.
Yeah, so let's just say if you're a high-end entrepreneur, you're killing it, you're making money. You don't know how to build a sales team. You don't know operations. You don't know client support. You don't know fulfillment. You don't know what to do if there's a payment failure. You don't know how to put on a virtual event. You don't know how to build out a marketing campaign. You don't know how to think year to date. Yeah. You don't know how to incentivize your team, right? Yeah. It's a lot that goes into building a world-class business.
Yeah.
So imagine everything in our company, you got to do something to serve the company and learn how to teach it to serve our clients. So we're now SOPing everything. So whatever your job title is, you got to know how to do it to serve the company, and you got to know how to teach it to serve our clients, because we're about to do a franchise program where now you might just know how to teach or coach, but you don't know how to get people in the room. You don't know how to run the back end. You got a team that runs your back end. Imagine if you had to drop the link and do all that.
Yeah.
But now we're going to sell our business.
Yeah.
You don't have to think. Let me do it for you.
Wow.
Everything
done for you model, basically.
100%. I could tell you from now to next year what we're doing. I could tell you how we run our stuff. I could tell you in December you sell the year, everything you did from January through November. I could tell you how to drop your Black Friday stuff. What goes on in quarter one is your primary offer, and quarter two becomes what we call your ATM offer. It's something within your offer that you pull out to generate revenue. Quarter three should be virtual events, live events. Q4 is where you move into packaging everything and selling the year so you can have time to think in December and get your write-offs.
That's good.
Now we build the funnels for it, the content that you need for it. That's speed. That's a business.
Yeah. Powerful.
You thinking year to day. You ain't thinking head down, week to week, month to month.
That's good. I like that. Yeah, I like that. And it's me always talk about forecasting.
Oh,
basically
man.
identifying what needs to happen here to make this thing keep moving.
Because if you're trying to consult high level, and I think I'm more consultant than coach, a coach is someone that might ask you questions. Okay, who's your ideal avatar? Who do you want to impact? They lead you to inquiry, they pose questions and help lead you to the answer. I'm a consultant. I come in and tell you the answer. Here's the funnel that we're going to utilize. Here's what we're going to need. Hey, get me 2 of those, 3 of those, right? I'm giving you a proven pathway. I can sit in the seat of a coach, but I'm more of a consultant because I like work. I started working with startup companies. Like, you can't go into a corporation and say, hey, so you can hire me as a consultant and we're going to go to the next level. Yeah. No, you got to talk business talk. Hey, if we can do this, we'll increase revenue by 10%. We'll be able to drive down waste and costs. So that's what made me create a model for coaches, right? PSSP, Product Service Subscription Program, that can grow with you. Director of Products, that's a person who will manage your ebooks, your digital products. Director of Services, Director of Subscriptions, Director of Programs.
Wow.
Now, guess what you do? When you do a corporate retreat, hey, what did we do last year on products? Hey, products were down about 20%.
Yeah.
What did we do with subscriptions? You can think as a CEO and say, well, why don't we partner our products and our subscriptions together? That's what I teach people how to do. Now, what marketing do I need if I want to sell products? We say, now we choose the month. This is what we help you build. Hey, in February, let's do a marketing campaign for digital products and to add new people on our subscription.
Yeah.
Hey, in third quarter, let's focus heavy on getting new clients on our services.
Yeah.
See how you ain't talking just making a sale, you're building a company.
Yeah.
And you're able to think like a company, know how to hire that person for it, drive revenue.
Yeah. That's good. Ooh, that's powerful. Bruh. Man, you always dropping the game of knowledge. Let me tell you, forecasting or not even forecasting as we in this episode, just want you to share a word of advice for anybody, man. Just somebody that's just like, Marcus, I hear all of that, but what's next? What else? Yeah. So break something down for the people.
Yeah, so simplicity, if you're just getting started, I always tell people like the fastest way to go from what we call idea to income is simplify it. I'm a framework guy. So I always say the first thing you do is pick a problem. All problems are not created equal. Some problems people aren't willing to pay to get fixed. So if we're using a cell phone as an example, a person can crack their cell phone screen and that's not a problem they have to immediately get fixed. But if your phone won't charge where you can't use it, you're going to figure that out. So you pick a problem that a person has to exchange money for right away that you can scale. For every one of you, that's going to be different. Sometimes you might partner with someone else in terms of a problem. That's where cell phone cases partnered with cell phones.
Yeah.
So you can pick a problem that partners with someone else. If you say Neo has a great business model, but I notice in his model, he don't do this. You can partner your problem with a problem with his customers and tell him you'll solve it, split the revenue, right? So pick a problem.
That's good.
Second thing I would do, soon as I pick a problem, is pick a process where you can say, when someone comes to me, here's how you create a framework. When someone comes to me, I do this, then I do this, then I do this, and the result is this. Say it simple. You pick the problem, now you're picking a process. When someone comes to me, I do this. What's the first thing you do?
Yeah.
Then I do this. What's the second thing you do? Then I do this. What's the third thing you do? And the result of that is this. If you can map that out, you got clear messaging to tell a person. Then last but not least, you pick a price that matches the level of the problem. Because if the problem is transportation and you say, hey, I'll give you a first class flight and it's $30, you wonder what's wrong with it. People don't feel like they're getting a hookup. They feel like you're cheating them. So that's what advice I would give. A simple framework to take someone from idea to income really fast.
Powerful, bro. Let everybody know where they could tap in with you, Marcus.
Man, Marcus Y. Rosier on all platforms, man. Whether you're the FBI or jealous girlfriend, I'm easy to find. So Marcus Y. Rosier on Instagram, on Facebook, all of that, man.
Let's get it, y'all, man. Thank y'all so much for tuning in, man. We can't wait to see y'all on our next episode. Make sure y'all follow my brother, man. Changing Games. And he didn't even tell you guys he does all this cherry. So tap in with him, man.
Absolutely.
Let's get it, bro. Thank you.
Appreciate you, bro.